Remember the drama.
Oh, Briscoe, get up, give him the ball, and he's going to go, get in underneath the post.
Remember the excitement.
Oh, wonderful play, and he scores a brilliant try for Hull FC.
Don't miss out next season. Hull FC season passes for 2010 are now on sale. Junior passes start from just £40 for home and away games, and anyone who buys a season pass before Friday the 23rd of October will enter a draw to win a new home and away shirt that will be presented to them by their favourite player. Don't miss out. Visit the ticket office at the KC Stadium or download your form online at hullfc.com.
Yo, come on!
I'm pleased to say we've been joined by superfan and club historian Bill Dalton. Just above your shoulder it says fans loyalty, and there haven't been many more loyal than yourself.
Well, 53 years I've been coming. I've various interests that kids start out on, like sort of collecting programmes, which eventually evolved into deciding to do a statistical record of all the playing side of the club. To the best of my knowledge, it is complete, apart from a big project I'm doing now, which is now putting all the teams and scorers since 1895 onto disc for posterity forever.
Now, obviously in the match programme, the Old Faithful match programme, many of the fans will have read, you picked your dream team, taking a bit of input from a few other people as well, but how tough was that to try and find the best team of the last 50 years? Well,
setting out and accepting that if you put 50 people down in a room to pick their best team, nobody will come up with the same team. It's always open to debate. As regards most of the 17 players that I picked, I was pretty fixed in my mind who there would be. But you know, over 53 years, I would pick obviously a different team to somebody who's only been coming to watch the club for 20 years. And you know, it's there really as a debating point really. What I enjoyed doing more than picking just the 17 players was really writing about some of the others who'd played in the positions as well, because having multiplied the 17 players by however many players over 53 years, we're talking about a lot of players in that series of articles, so I was quite pleased with that. I expect people to disagree with me on positions, but that was my choice, and I was asked to make the choice, and I did it, you know.
Well, everyone has an opinion, don't they, on players and best memories and things. For you over the last 53 years, then what's the best memory for you as a fan?
Well, I always said that if I'd just seen Hull win the Challenge Cup once, they could eventually see me on my way and I'd have died a happy man. I never ever qualified that by saying Wembley, so I have seen them do it twice. And I've got the photographs, which a lot of people don't realise that there have been two different trophies that Hull have won, and I'm proud to say that both the photographs I have with the Challenge Cup with both different trophies. In the 82 that we won it, I did work for the club on the lottery, so I actually took the Challenge Cup home about 6 times, and Matt had slept with it between the two beds, you know. It was a bit of an honour for them as well.
Well, honour for everyone involved, of course, when Hull are winning the Challenge Cup. Do you think they have it within them in the next couple of years to go on and do that again, and especially looking at the players they've got coming in?
Well, in 2008 we reached Wembley with not a very good playing record, so it just proves that in the modern game anything's possible. Yeah, anything is possible. I think we have some good players coming in to improve what's our playing record over the last 2 years. It shouldn't be forgotten that when we did win the Cup in 85, we didn't win many more games that season after the semi-final. So perhaps Wembley or the prospect of a Challenge Cup final place does put a bit of a cloud on what many people should think the main aim nowadays is to go all the way to the grand finals. I'm not sure about that. It's the way the game is, I suppose.
Looking at the team we will have next year, do you think it's a team strong enough to match some of the big sides in Super League next season?
Yes, because I think we've been very lightweight in the pack of forwards, and the half-backs can't play behind beaten packs consistently, as we've had to do. The forwards coming in are certainly a different bunch to the ones going out, in my opinion.
It'll be interesting to see what impact they do have. Obviously, as a fan, we've talked about your best moment, but tell us what it means to be a fan of Hull FC, because the Old Faithful have been magnificent, probably for the last 53 years you've followed them.
Well, I started out when Hull were the champions, and I'd like to think I might eventually finish with the days where they're still being champions. But they're a champion side. They have been for 53 years, in my opinion. I love the club, and it's as simple as that. Not a lot of people realise, but my first ever game watching rugby league, when we was kids on Bilton Grange, we walked along to Craven Park one Saturday afternoon, and it was only about 3 weeks later that a neighbour says, "Never mind about going there, I'll take you to the Boulevard on Saturday." And it was a game against Huddersfield in November of '56 I went to. And I was hooked ever since. It just goes on. I lost count of the number of games I must have watched now over the years. But in that we mentioned earlier, the 17 players that I picked in my best ever dream team, I actually did see 13 of them make the debuts for Hull, and probably saw almost all their careers. Along with John Whiteley, I was at Arthur Keegan's funeral in last year, and I recall being at Headingley on his debut, and the famous occasion when he had to pay to get into to play the game. But over the ensuing few years, when I was going to all the away games, when I have to say there were probably 3 men and a dog who used to go to the away games in those days, I became very good friends of Arthur's brother, and of course, being Dewsbury lads, the away games in Yorkshire was virtually home games for them.
You mentioned a few big names there, and we've talked about the dream team you selected. Maybe not in terms of just playing ability, but who was your all-time favourite?
Johnny Whiteley.
That's not because he's sat over my shoulder, is it?
Not at all. I formed that opinion in only '56 really, and of course Arthur Keegan was a big favourite as well. I had a high regard for all the pack that John played in. Bill Drake was another particular favourite. He had in my recollection, all these years later, I seem to remember Bill Drake being able to sell a dummy by actually passing the ball and bringing it back, and it was unbelievable how many players bought that dummy. But there was Jim Drake as well, the legendary Tommy Harris. You could write volumes about that pack alone. Yeah. It's very, very true. And just like today, actually, we had 3 players in that team who all had a century of tries under the belt. That's not to say that this team nowadays is on that par, but that's up to people's opinion.
Well, that's going to be my final question. How do you rate teams of old to the team we have now, the prospective team for 2010? And are there any players in there that you can certainly see going on and mirroring some of the achievements of some of the guys in the past?
As regards, well, look at it this way. In 1956, and then for the ensuing few years, my first few years watching the game, I regard myself as being privileged to watch the best players, some of the best players who ever played this game. I was then asked a year ago to do the series of things in the programme, picking my dream team, and I have to say that not one of any of Hull's Super League teams over the years since 1998 came close to being selected. It's a different game, so comparisons are perhaps unfair. I'm just privileged that I did watch all those players. The Tommy Van Vollenhovens, the Billy Bostons, Vince Cornelius, Dick Hood, Alex Murphy, some of the greatest players who ever played the game. And I don't have to mention Hull players when I'm talking about some of this talent. Big Sullivan, another one, great winger.
Great memories for you. Bill Dalton, thanks for speaking to LSE.tv, and I'm sure we'll hear a bit more from you in the future.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.